Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you my mod for Dropfleet Commander in Tabletop Simulator. I'll be showing you what's included, how the ship tokens work, as well as any tips and tricks that I've learned while making the game. The first thing you want to do is go to the Steam Workshop and subscribe to 3 different Dropfleet Commander files that I made, and then we can go ahead and create a new game. So the 3 files are the starter game, the ships, and the accessories. The starter game includes a pre-made setup for the 2-player starter mission. The ships includes all the ships in the game except for the resistance and the neutral ships, and the accessories includes all the tokens and the terrain. So I'm going to load up the starter game. And so in here we see we have a map and all of the terrain set up for the starter mission Expeditionary Raid. On the right we have each of the starter fleets, which includes their quick start sheet, which is double-sided, all the ships, and their activation cards. So simply choose the ships you want to use and delete the rest, and away you go. Each ship is mounted on a custom base with the firing arcs, including the front, side, rear, and the front narrow, and as tokens for the spike level, the orbital layer, and the hull strength. Shaltari ships also have a token at the front to track the shield level. So each ship, the tokens follow it when you move it, and you can use the number keys to change the level of these tokens. So from 1 to 4 we can have minor, major, and silent running for the spy, and from 1 to 3 we can do high orbit, low orbit, and atmosphere. For health, you simply just type the number that you want the health to change to and it will change. So I can go to 3, 2, 1. And for a bigger ship, I can go even more. I can go 7, 6, and then this ship with 10 health, when it goes to 5, it gets coloured so you know you've hit critical damage. Moving ships is really easy. What you do is when you hold it, hold right click and it will drop it to the floor. I like to grab it from the middle to make it easy to measure. So when you hold it, and you can use the Q and E keys to rotate it. Each press of Q or E moves it by 15 degrees by default. So that allows you to point it in the direction you want to go. And if you hold tab, it brings up the ruler. So as you move the ships, you can measure it and you can move exactly how far you want. In this case, 6 inches. You let go of left click, and it's moved 6 inches. So you just repeat that process as you move into the ships, and away you go. For the activation cards, I found it's best to group them all together. You do that with the G key. And then put them over. And when you want to change the order, simply search. And that'll bring up this window where you can order them from left to right, and that's the order they'll be drawn in. So if I want to do CBA, I do it like that. Now when I draw a card, the first card is C, second card is B, and the last card is A. So you can each have your activation cards on the side, and then all you need to do is search inside them to change the order. One thing that I'll add is the ability to tint ships to mark the battle groups. So say you want to have one group red, one group blue, what you can do is you can control click each of the bases for the ships, and then right click and go color tint. So that'll let you change it to red. It'll color the firing arcs as well as the actual ship, and then you do that for the other group as well. And then that'll let you easily differentiate your battle groups at a glance. Over on this side, we have the quick reference for the mission and the game, I guess, as well as the assets for bombers, fighters, and infantry and stuff like that. So inside each of these, we've got a copy of each of the assets. We need more, just simply copy and paste them. And we also have the ship effects. So this is things like fires and engines disabled and things like that. So you can simply take one of those, put it in the ship, and then delete it when you're done, because there's infinite in that bag. So Just delete them. Over here we also have a bag of dice, so you don't need to import those, it's already ready there, ready to go. So this map is one of the 3 maps. Each of the different files has a different map background, so if you want to delete all this from this map, you can save this for your own custom games. So next I will move over to the ships file. So in this file we have a copy of each ship in the game, which I recommend you add to your saved objects. So to do that, highlight the entire ship. Whenever you copy or save a ship, you want to highlight the whole thing. If you don't, when you copy it, it'll just copy the base and not the tokens. So you need to highlight the whole thing, and then you can copy and paste and save them. So to save them, in my saved objects, I created a file structure for Dropfleet Commander, ships, and then each race. So I can then drag and drop in any ship that I want. So to do that, what we need to do is create that file structure, right click on the base after highlighting the whole thing, save the object, select the folder, click save. Repeat that process for each ship, and then you will have that library of ships to choose from. Once you have all the ships saved, you can delete them all from this file, and then save this map for custom games, or you can use it to create your own custom fleets. So go into your saved objects, go into your ships, and start adding all the ships you want to add for your fleet. So you make your list on DF list or something, then come in here and add in all of the ships. Once you're happy with your selection, you can then highlight the whole thing, right click one of the ships, save object, and then you can save all of this as a fleet. So I'm going to say this is fleet 1. And now I can then go into my saved objects, go into my ships, and drop in fleet 1. Lastly, I'll go into the last file, which is accessories. In this file, we have another background, as well as all of the terrain and space stations, as well as the faction cards for when you're using those in your games, a blank activation card which you can use to customize your activations, or you can edit your own activation card file and upload that onto that card. Comes at the back and stuff. As well as bags containing all of these tokens. So saving this bag will give you all the terrain. Saving this bag has all these tokens in it. This bag here contains white launch assets. The advantage of white is if you highlight them, and you can tint them to whatever color you want. So you can have whatever color launch assets you'd like. Lastly, we have the sectors, and we have the ship effects. So go ahead and save all of these objects to your saved objects, so that way you can import them into whatever game you want and create your own custom games. So to create a custom game, you would start with a blank map and import anything that you wanted. So we would take the terrain, because we'd want to have terrain to choose from. We probably want to have the sectors, and we want to have the ship effects. And then you can then import fleets. So if I want to play UCM, I'd import the deck and this fleet, and your opponent can do the same. A note when ships are loading, make sure that they completely load before you try to move them, otherwise the base can come detached from the tokens. Because these tokens aren't rigidly attached, they're only fixed with a fixed joint. That allows you to still access these state objects but it does mean that if you try to put these in bags or save them without highlighting them, they get separated. So if I try to add in a empty bag and drop this ship in, what's going to happen is it's going to get destroyed. So that's why you want to individually save ships. Say you had your game set up ready to go, you have all the stuff that you want to have ready to start a standard game. You can then go into games, save and load, and save this as a example. So we can create this as an example game. Sorry, touch typing. And then you can then load straight into the mission and it's ready to go. So you could pre-make everything you want, get it all set up, have existing scenarios ready to go, and then load them at will when you want to play the games. Hope you guys find this helpful, and hope you guys enjoy playing Dropfleet using my mod. Thanks very much.